Why do you think most entrepreneurs are limited to a certain amount of success? Why do you think they hit a cap and they can't break through?
Well, there's three reasons. And the first reason is they don't know how much more is possible from time, effort, opportunity, people, interaction, media. They don't know how many ways to leverage it up. The second, and we were talking about this in your hallway, they don't understand how to really access and fully harness, exploit, and really utilize the greatness that's within them. And
how do they do it?
If you want me to tell you, I can give you a 4-part, very simple process.
Sure.
Okay. So, but I have to give you my belief system first.
Perfect.
Okay. So I have a belief system that every human being is born within their DNA with the desire to be great. We want to be great students, great athletes, great whether it's a career, business people, husbands, fathers, mothers, friends, lovers, anything. And yet probably at most 2 or 3% are ever great. The majority of us operate in this realm that I would call respectfully complacent mediocrity. Now, the assumption is that they're lazy or they aren't aspiring. My assumption is it's not their fault. No one has ever given them a context of understanding what true greatness is supposed to look like and feel like, both internal, here, how you communicate, how you look at things, how you contextualize your interaction, and also how it is supposed to be received. If you don't know what you're supposed to be doing differently, internally, externally, and no one's ever really framed it for you, you can't be that way. Now, then, if you can get that far and figure out what it's supposed to be, you have to be able to gauge it against where you are, and there's a delta. Yeah. And then you got to look at it in the whole totality of your life, because there's like 5 or 6 categories. You cannot be great in your business. You cannot be great in your marriage. You cannot be great in your health. And you got to figure out which area you got to deal with first, because sometimes getting your business together it's moot if you're going to die, or if you're going to die and on your deathbed, your wife and your children are going to leave you. So you got to find that. So if you can figure out what greatness is supposed to look like inside, what you are supposed to not feign, but genuinely be like your heart, soul, mind is imbued with, so it's a font from which just automatic understanding, empathy, connectivity flows, and you know how to monitor and gauge whether it is being received, and also how to adjust it. That's the first thing. Then you figure out the difference. Then you got to figure out the pathway or ways to get from where you are to where you need to be. And most people don't have a clue how to do that. Yes. Or they choose, like the analogy of the funnel tunnel, they choose the hardest, most difficult. They want to be a pole vaulter at the Olympics the first time out, as opposed to doing switchbacks that'll take you up the mountain safely and has water stations. So if they are lucky enough to figure out the safest way to get from where they are to there, then they have to have the courage to embrace it. Now, this is where it gets really tricky. And you're single?
I've got a girlfriend, yeah.
Okay, but no children?
I'm not married, no.
Okay,
no.
I have 7 children.
Yes.
So from very vast experience, my kids, when the very first time they tried to talk or walk or eat or poop or ride a bike, they were terrible.
Right.
And it was scary. But what they required was a champion who believed in them, who they felt comforted, who would reassure them, who would get them back on the horse, who would keep advancing them. And most people don't have, and this is not a crass comment for a compensated mentor. I don't like coaches. I like mentors because they've been there, done that. They know it's possible and they can hold you to a higher standard. But most people try to do everything alone.
Mm.
They don't have connection with people. They worry alone. They aren't connected. You need advocates and champions who care enough to hold you to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people aren't great.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if you can get those things, it's incredible. And I mean, I just don't. I think, and it's not. There's no shame. One of the biggest, I think, penchants I'm on is the relief of guilt, because almost everybody is made to feel that they're not good enough. And the reason they're not good enough is they don't know what good enough is supposed to look like. That no one's ever helped them. And as soon as they know, it's very easy. It's not hard to be greater. It's not hard to be great. It's not hard to be exceptional. But it is hard if you don't have any idea what you're doing right, wrong, what you need to do to shift, how you have to think differently, and then it is wrong if you can't embrace it. I mean, a lot of people are so scared that they will be seen as weak or incompetent, that they're afraid to, and vulnerability is greatness is a byproduct of vulnerability, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And most people are afraid to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What is something that you believe that almost everyone else disagrees with you about?
I believe two things. And I can't have a single answer. One is that I think people's goal in life is tremendously flawed. I believe most people are obsessed with an end result. They want to make $1 trillion. They want to be in great shape. They want to have the hottest wife. They want to have the biggest house, the fastest growing company, the most toys. And they think that by getting that alone, all of a sudden their life's going to change. The heavens are going to open. The angels are going to trumpet. Euphoria is going to prevail, and all goodness is going to befall them, when in fact it's anticlimactic. It's no different. It just increases the complexity of your life.
Yeah.
I believe that your life is not about an end result. It's about the process. The fact that you and I are doing this for an audience of 1 million is wonderful, but if we were doing this for just you and I, that's fine too. The process is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
When I travel, I have and I think your goal in life is that every time you interact with anybody for any reason at any stage, your job, your responsibility, your opportunity, your privilege is to make that person better off because you were in their life.